I'm gonna go through the 5 most important dimensions for your kitchen so you can get your floor plan dialed in. From walkway spacing to island sizing, I'm gonna go through tips and tricks that I use in my floor plans every single day. But first, we gotta nerd out about cabinet sizing. Typically, when you look at a floor plan, it shows one line for the cabinets. That line is showing the box face right here. That's 24 inches out from drywall. So when you're thinking through your kitchen, you gotta think through these measurements because this is 24, but your countertop sticks out 1.5 inches past this. The cabinet doors and handles stick out as well. Additionally, if you have something like a range, cooktop, dishwasher, whatever, the handles will stick out maybe even 1 inch or 2 past the countertop. So all these things work together when you're thinking through kitchen dimensions. One of the single biggest factors that I feel like contributes to the feel of your kitchen is the walkway spacing. This right here, 48 inches from cabinet face to cabinet face, giving you about a 45-inch feel as you're walking through. I love this dimension. I feel like I'm showing this in most of my plans nowadays. I would say 95% of my plans are between 42 and 48 inches for this spacing. If you wanna go bigger than that, I'm honestly pretty reluctant to because I feel like you're spending a lot of square footage to do so. But if you do wanna go bigger than that, typically it's only because there's stools backing up to a functional area like a core walkway in the home, or there's stools backing up to the fridge maybe. If you wanna go shallower than that, less than 42 inches, I would get really selective about when to do that. We're talking very small floor plans, we're talking apartments and condos, stuff where you really need to save the square footage. But for the most part, 42 to 48. If you're not sure what to do, you want the TLDR of it, just go 48. Easy peasy. Numero 2, workspace zones. You wanna make sure you have plenty of working area by the core areas in which you work. Makes sense, right? So kitchen sink, range, even refrigerator, dishwasher. These core things, you wanna make sure you have at least 24 inches of working space beside them. I like to see 2 to 3 feet at least for each workspace zone. So sink here, we have the other side of the sink, we have another 36 inches here. We have 24 here on this side of the range, we've got another 36 on that side of the range. So wherever you are, if it's a big pan that needs set down and drying, or a cookie sheet where you need to lay out some cookies, you have quick space by all those areas in which you can do that without having to walk all the way across your kitchen and find an empty zone for those things. Number 3 is ceiling height. Here we're at 9 foot. A lot of my clients lately have been going to 10 feet or even 12 feet. How this affects your kitchen, most everybody nowadays wanting those cabinets to go to the ceiling. Also, you want plenty of size for your window above the countertop. Let's talk window first. So this window is 4 feet tall. I like this size for a 9-foot ceiling for a few reasons. One, we've got plenty of room for that structural header above. Don't need to mess with anything weird from a structural standpoint. We can fit it, as well as the decorative header you see on the window there. 2, you have plenty of backsplash here behind the sink. You have room where if water splashes up there, it's against tile and not against your window unit. Yes, you could bring the windows all the way down to that countertop for a really cool modern look, but think about all the water and gunk that's gonna get on those windows, in the track, all that stuff. Something that looks cool in a magazine, I personally wouldn't want it in my house. Okay, so let's go back to the cabinets. The cabinets to the ceiling on a 9 foot, not crazy. You're looking at roughly a 30-inch upper, I think with a 18 on top of that. If you go to the ceiling though, we're adding even more cabinets if we go to 10 feet. So just think through those added costs as you're talking upgrades. Going to 10-foot ceilings isn't just about the studs and the extra drywall and the extra siding, it's also about things like cabinetry. Okay, here's a sneaky one. A fridge recess done all through framing. So there's a 2x6 furring wall here, and then the fridge, that wall gets cut for the fridge so the fridge can slide back, feel more like a counter depth fridge. Typically fridges stick out 34, 36 inches at times from the back of the unit or the wall in which it's placed. So when you do this fridge recess, we can actually get more of a cabinet depth feel without having to buy an expensive counter depth fridge that also has less storage space in it. Last, but certainly not least, is island size. This one is 4 feet by 7 feet. Plenty of room for 3 stools here. We have 2 posts on either end because we have a 24-inch overhang. Those posts are supporting this heavy quartz top. If you wanted to get stools on either side here and still have a full run of cabinets this side, you might need to go to 4.5 or 5 feet with this island. For an island size, I wouldn't go much bigger than like 4'6" by 9'6". Once you get into those ranges, it gets really hard to find slabs bigger than that that will still fit on your island without a seam. And nobody wants a giant seam running their island right in the middle of the kitchen. So keep that in mind when designing your floor plan. If you need to go smaller than that, want something a little more concise that doesn't take up as much floor area, my personal recommendation is 3 foot by 6 foot for the top. You can go to Menards, Home Depot, IKEA, get a 3 by 6 top, get a 5-foot cabinet. You have an L of seating, plenty of seating for 4, plenty of workspace, plenty of storage. Really, really great bang for the buck option. Hi, if you like this video, please subscribe, tell your friends.